take questions around the room. Please raise your hand. First row, fifth row in the right there.
Kelly, you're the athletic. Jalen, between you, guys like Alex and Lou, you guys have a number of high-level defenders. How do you determine the plays on which you want to switch the screen or you want to stay attached? How do you guys figure that out in real time?
Communication. Can y'all hear me? Is that good? Just communication, I think, is the biggest part of that. Obviously, we have schemes in place, and I don't want to get into too much matchup-oriented stuff, but a lot of it is just being physical up until the screen, making sure our communication's early and loud, and that's been kind of the biggest thing. And then from there, like you said, we have really good defenders that can sniff a lot of plays out. So being able to talk it, and I think there's an old saying talk it, touch it, switch it, that kind of thing. So probably in replace of the switch it part, but a lot of it is just being close enough to your man to be able to hear what the coverage call is and do that whole thing.
Barry?
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Jalen, I'm sure you got 1,000 things to worry about getting ready for a game 2. Minutes is not one of them. You're going to play a big chunk of the game. Aaron Wiggins, not that way. Doesn't know if he's going to play, doesn't know how much. He gets thrown out there and has a game like he has. How much do you respect a guy that can come out and just cold call play like that?
It's the hardest job in the league, I feel I think it goes underrated. That's a really good question. That goes really underrated. It's really hard to stay engaged and stay ready. And for him to be able to do that on the biggest stage that he's ever played on and have a really good game, he's a very special player. So I always keep that in mind. And yeah, it's a really tough job, and he does it very well.
Fred, over here on the left.
Jalen, Fred Katz from The Athletic. I'm sure there have been, obviously you've competed against Alex Caruso as an opponent. I'm sure there have been times where drills, scrimmages, whatever, where you guys have been on opposite teams. What is that feeling like when you have to dribble and Alex Caruso is right in front of you?
I don't know. I'd be frying AC, so I don't really know. No, but he's a really good defender. Great hands, good feet, physical, smart. So when you add all that together and the amount of years that he's been in the league, I can imagine it's probably a little uncomfortable.
Jenny, front right.
Hey, Jalen, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoma. And there was a stretch there in the fourth where Tyrese got going a little bit, but with the exception of that, you guys held him well in check, not just points-wise, but really not affecting the game as much as he's capable of. What's key against him? I mean, I know on-the-ball defense is important, but what else has to happen to keep him at bay like you guys did for 3+ quarters tonight?
A lot of it is just trying to make his life really difficult. Kind of the same way they're doing with me and Shea, and just us in general. He's a good player. He's gonna affect the game without even, even if he has an off night, him being on the floor, he's gonna have some type of impact on the game. So a lot of it is just trying to make it really hard for him to get to spots and understanding what he likes to do and try and turn that off. But like I said, he's a good player. He's gonna be there. Just him being out there, he's gonna affect how we play defense. So I think taking that into account is big for us.
Seventh row on the right.
Jalen over here, Myron Patton, OKC Sports. You guys have talked about how you really have to stay engaged. A lead is never safe with them. It's part of the problem, too, that they really test your defense because it seems like at all times they've got 5 guys that they all can score. You can't really take a break on any of these guys.
Yeah. Like I've been saying, they're really similar in how we play, too. So we've been able to understand that. I think the last game they had a lot of guys in double figures. That's what makes them dangerous. The same way that we have Aaron Wiggins and guys that don't play that can come in at any moment, they have kind of the same thing going for them. So we just got to understand that and be ready throughout the whole entire game.
Tim, right here.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. With Shea, they're obviously, like you said, a lot of stuff at him. What did you think of kind of his decision-making tonight as far as when to attack, when to split double teams, when to get off the ball, and let you other guys make plays?
He's just getting better and better, which is very impressive. Obviously, he's the MVP of the league, so for him to continue to get better is good. And then he just trusts us to make plays. So I think when your best player is out there and he trusts you to make a play, it just gives you more confidence, and he understands that. And I think that's one of the roles that he's gotten really good at and something that he's grown at, and it just makes our team better.
You guys are able to convert a lot more shots in the paint and around the rim tonight as opposed to game one. What went into that?
Focus. Some of it too is just you got to stick with it. Like basketball, like you're gonna have games where like you don't make shots. You have bad games where you miss layups. Like it's more about the process of how you're getting to the rim and how you're going about like certain offense. And I think if we just continue to stick with that, and Mark always says just getting better through every game, I think we'll be in a good spot. But a lot of it is just like being persistent with it.
Thank you, Jalen. Alex will be right up.